Hello, kindergarten friends. This is the elementary math specialists from Franklin, and we have some activities that we wanted to share with you today. These are great activities that you can play if you have a sibling that is around your age or maybe older, or if you have a grown up in your house that you can play with. So, all you need for these activities are some small objects, and examples of small objects could be coins, maybe you have some Legos, some pasta noodles or buttons, anything that you have that is on the smaller side. And you're going to need about 10 of those or less. And then the other material you need is just something to cover or hide your objects with. So you might have a sheet of paper at your house. You might have a paper plate, as you're going to see on my example. You could even use your hands to cover it as well. So the first thing that you're going to do is take your small objects and you're going to arrange them in some way, and you don't want your partner to be able to see what you have done yet. So make sure that they're covering their eyes or looking away. So take your small objects and arrange them in some way, and then take what your material was that you're using to hide them and cover it up as I did here. So I have my arrangement, and then I put my plate on top of it so my partner can't see. Then I'm going to ask my partner, I'm going to lift up the plate and I'm going to just show it for about a second, and then I'm going to put the plate back. So I might flash my objects and then cover it back up with the plate. And I'm going to say, how many did you see? And how did you see them? How do you know how many there are? And I may do that one more time. I'll pick up my plate and flash my object and then hide it and say, how many did you see? And how did you see them? So there's a lot of different ways that kids can see these items. So a really popular way of seeing this is to recognize that there were three on one side and there were three on the other side. And I know that three and three make six. So there are six objects. But the beautiful thing is that not everyone's going to see this arrangement that way. You may have one of your partners say that they saw that there were two on the top left and two on the top right, and then there were two on the bottom. So maybe they were thinking of counting two, four, six. So they may look for that smaller part and count from there. And you may also hear your partner say that they knew that there were four on the top row because they automatically could see that four, and then they said five, six. So, lots of different ways that our partners may see these objects. And we know that there are six of them total. So, I'm going to go back to my arrangement of six. And now I'm going to hide some of them underneath my plate. And I'm going to say, how many are hiding? And how do you know? So here, some kids may have remembered that there were three on one side, and I'm missing that other side. So there must be three hiding underneath the plate. And then I would lift my plate up and show them how many there are hiding. You may hear a lot of different counting up or counting back strategies, and that's really where we're trying to get our students to really explain how they know how many are hiding underneath the plate. I could also do this arrangement here and say, how many are hiding and how do you know? So while I see one penny, so I need to figure out how many more pennies there would be so that I have those six pennies I had to start with. I could count up and I could count back. I might use my fingers to help me. So you'll see a lot of different strategies come out for our kids. Here was another arrangement, how many are hiding and how do you know? Kids love to play this game, and it really encourages them to break numbers apart and to know that four and two more make six. So it's a great way to practice some of those concepts that we're working on in school. Some other questions that you could ask with these materials is, how many would I have if I added one more penny? What if I took one penny away? How many would there be then? And we're looking to see that the students are able to do that without having to recount it. So that can they figure out that one more than six would be seven, and one less than 6 would be 5. They may need to count it to help them, and the more we practice that, the more they will not need to count and be able to figure those out. How many more pennies would I need to have 10 total? So, knowing the combinations or the numbers that make 10 is also something that we work on with our kindergarten friends. So, if I have 6 pennies, how many more would I need so that I had 10 pennies? Can you show 6 pennies in a different arrangement? So, can they take those 6 pennies and kind of move them around so that they show 6 in a different way? And another thing I like to do with coins is to shake your 6 pennies and drop them in front of you. How many are heads and how many are tails? Can you write a number sentence to show this? So if you're not using coins that have heads and tails, you can drop some objects on a sheet of paper, and some of them may land on the paper and some of them may land off the paper. So if you take the amount that landed on the paper and the amount that landed off the paper and put them together, it should equal 6, or whatever number you choose to use in your arrangement. Another thing we want to point out is that you can check out the kindergarten page on our Franklin Math website. The link is down at the bottom. There's also a tab all the way to the right called Keeping Learning Alive that has some additional math activities that you can do at home with your kindergarten students. And just remember that math is everywhere. There's a lot of math that goes on in your everyday routines. So just talk about it and highlight the amazing math thinking that's going on every single day in your natural routines. So thank you, kindergarten friends. Be on the lookout for some more fun activities.